Hi, friends. It's Mother Sylvia again. Hopefully, by now, you understand why it's so important for all members of the church to do some basic safe church training. But you still may not totally understand how you're supposed to do it. So that's what we're going to go through now. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to St. Mark's website to find out which parts of the training you should complete. So you go to stmarksabq.org. And that brings you to our church website. Then under Nurture, you're going to go to the Nurture tab. And you're going to scroll down to Safe Church and click on Safe Church. Now, this page is going to have files that have a list of which modules you need to take based on your position in the church. And soon, hopefully at the top, there will be a button that says all members. But for now, I'm just going to click on, I'm going to get my husband set up to do this. And so he's a program participant. Sometimes he helps out in the Sunday school or with the youth group or how he's needed. So we're going to click on program participants. And it's going to bring up a table that shows which modules Donnell needs to complete. So all members of the church are invited and expected to complete the universal training. So that's these 4 modules: an intro and theological background, healthy boundaries, inclusion, and organizational rules and policies. So everybody at St. Mark's at some point should complete, at the very minimum, those first 4 modules. They take 20 to 30 minutes each, so you should allot about 2 hours to complete that portion of the training. Then, if you're teaching Sunday school or engaged in any ministry, you're probably going to be expected to do these specialty trainings, okay, which are these second 4: bullying, power and relationships, pastoral abuse and neglect. You'll want to, so depending on what you click, it will show what is required and what is encouraged but optional, depending on your role in the church. As you scroll down, then you're going to come to the written instructions about how to access the training modules on the learning platform, which is this Presidium Academy. And then when you're all finished, you'll go back to your handout for instructions on how you are going to save their transcript and send it to the church office so that we have, and the diocese has, a record of your date of completion of these courses. If you already have done courses on this platform, you might already have an account and be able to go right in, but I'm going to show you how to do it if it's your first time, or if you've forgotten your password, you're just going to pretend it's your first time. Now, I have had some trouble with this link, and so I'm going to show you a workaround. Once more, you're going to go to Google or your search engine of choice, and then you're going to enter Presidium Academy. Yep, so it's presidiumacademy.com. And when you click on it, if you know your sign-in info, if you've started the course and need to go back and do a few more modules, you're going to go to sign in, and then you're going to enter your email address and the password that you used when you registered for your account. And that's going to have a list of the classes you've taken, the completed, and the classes that are pending. But I'm going to show you what you're going to do if you've never done any of it and you just want to start for the first time. Okay, so again, you're going to Google, you're Googling Presidium Academy, you're going to Presidium Academy, and then up here in the address bar, after the .com, you're going to do /redeem. And that's going to prompt you to enter a special code, because our diocese, of course, pays for us to be able to access this training free of cost to us. And so at this point, you're going to have to put in your name. And we're going to do Donnell because we're going to do Alex. Okay. Because Alex is going to start working in the nursery. So Alex Miller-Mutia. alex.miller.mutia@gmail.com. And then I would recommend using a password you can remember. This is not your bank account. If a hacker wants to go into the Safe Church learning module and learn some things about keeping church safe, I say more power to them. It's more important that you can get into your account than that you can keep other people out. So I would recommend just doing something like Safe Church and then your first name and last initial, because chances are in 3 years when you have to renew your training, you will still be able to remember Safe Church and your first name and your last initial. Now, when it asks for the code, that's where you're going to put the secret code that's on that handout. It's REG, like registration, dash EPIS, like the beginning of the word Episcopal, Dio, like diocese, Rio Grande, dash 505, dash. Now we do our congregational code. It's ST, as in Saint, Mark, no S, just Mark, MARK, on, now this is tricky, but without the E, TH, Mesa, MESA. So if you type it in, you're going to try to correct the typo, and then it's not going to work. So it needs to be REG-EPIS DIORIOGRANDE dash 505 dash ST Saint Mark MARK on TH Mesa MESA. When you've done all of that, agree to the terms and conditions, validate, and register. And sure, if you, okay. Ta-da! Then it's going to ask you 3 questions. Are you an employee or a volunteer? And for Alex, I'm going to put an employee because they're going to be working in the nursery. Are you full or part-time? I'm going to put part-time. And which category best describes your role? You can say program volunteer, program staff, whatever best applies to you. Most of you will probably be program volunteers. But in Alex's case, we're going to say program staff, save and continue. So now you can see that Alex is logged on. This upper right-hand corner is where it's going to show that you're logged on. So once you're logged on, you're going to scroll down. There's a little note from Bishop Hun. If you've completed some courses, there's going to be a list of the classes, the modules that you have completed or that you are completing right here after Bishop Hun's letter. And then as you keep scrolling down, you'll come to the courses. It's overwhelming. There are a lot. You are welcome to take all of them. Take them in Spanish, take them in French, take them in English, take all of them. But you don't have to take all of them. You can narrow it down. You can start by choosing English. That'll narrow it down. And you're going to start, this is kind of your table of contents over here on the left. You want to start with the Safe Church, Safe Communities Universal. When you click that, it has 4 modules. It's the universal training that all members of all Episcopal churches are encouraged to complete. Each module takes 20 to 30 minutes, so you want to allot probably about 2 hours to complete the universal training, and then another 2 hours or more, depending on how many of the specialty modules you have to complete for your role. But these 4 are the 4 that everybody should do. You'll start down here where it says the introduction and theological background. That's an intro from Bishop Curry. And then you'll want to move through inclusion, healthy boundaries, and the organizational rules and policies. So I'm going to click on one of these courses so you can see what it looks like. You click Start Course. And it brings up here in the left hand is a menu, and that can be helpful. So you can sort of see where you are. Over here, you have these forward and back buttons. So I want to go to the next lesson and begin the course. Now, here's something really helpful to know. This is also this little menu. Those three little lines pulls up the menu, and if you hit it again, it disappears. Hit it again, pulls it up. You can click here where it says script, and then in this bar, there will be a script of the lesson. So if you are a fast reader, if you learn better by reading, or if you find the audio and visual video content triggering, it's a great idea, might be a great idea to come down here, mute the audio, and simply toggle through reading the information that's over here. So you toggle through using this next button. You can always use previous to go back, next to go forward. Sometimes you have to wait a second. And then if you're watching the video and you want closed captions, so let's say we're playing it, but you still want some audio, you want closed captions, you just hover your mouse over the video itself, and that brings up this CC. You can click it and select your preference for closed captions, okay? So you can be reading it over here with the transcript, or you can be reading it as closed captions. And then when you're finished, you just click next to go to the next screen. Now, it is interactive insofar as occasionally there will be a quiz or an invitation to put an answer. No one is grading your answers. It's just an opportunity for you to engage in a more active rather than passive way. And it will let you continue to the next slide even without answering, but I would encourage you to put something. It doesn't need to be brilliant. It's not getting published. So you toggle all the way through until you've come to the end of the course. And at that point, you will click to the next lesson and exit. Now, to get back home, if you're like, I don't know how to get back to that main page, you come over here to the little house, click the house. Scroll back through. Oh, look, you can see I've started on Alex's behalf this first module. So I could just go in and continue, and it will have bookmarked where I was. Now, imagine that you're here and you're like, what happened to all the other classes? I saw there was one on bullying and I need to do the bullying. Or the way that you get back to that, all of the classes, is by coming up here where it says filter. And if you click the X next to the words under filter by, it removes the filters so that you come back to having all of the classes. So again, the Safe Church, Safe Communities universal trainings, those 4 modules are for everybody. Click the X to get out of it. Almost all volunteers will also be required to do these 4, the Safe Church, Safe Communities specialty trainings. And those are on power and relationships, pastoral relationships, bullying, and abuse and neglect. And then depending on your role in the church, there may be additional courses that you need to complete. If you're having a hard time finding what you're looking for, there's this search. So I could say model policies. Excellent. Oh, good. Here are the model policies, right? So if you're having a hard time finding what you're looking for, putting it here in this search bar might help. Again, you need to get rid of the filters, though, to make sure that you have all of them. So then when you're entirely done, you'll be able to print a transcript and certificates for the courses you've completed and send those into the church office, and we'll make a record of that. So I hope that that is helpful. One more time for review. You're going to start out by going to St. Mark's website under Nurture. First, you will be patient, and then you will scroll down to Safe Church. From this page, you'll be able to access, let's say you're a staff person, so you click staff. You'll be able to confirm which modules are required for you and which are recommended but not required. So you'll see that staff, it's recommended but not required that they do the preventing sexual harassment and recognizing abuse and exploitation in elder serving programs, right? So if it's not required, it'll say recommended, not required. Otherwise, it is required if it's on your list. Scroll down for that secret redemption code and instructions about logging on. And then information about how to save your certificate and your transcript and send it to the church office. Then when you're ready to start your class, if you're having trouble linking, you just go to Google. You Google Presidium Academy. You click and it'll bring you to the home page. And then either it'll prompt you to sign in, or you will look in the upper right hand and you'll see that you're already signed in. And then you can scroll down and choose your classes and continue learning. I know that this can be a big hassle, but it's so important. And I'm so grateful for you sacrificing the time to do this learning. It makes our church safe. It makes our church strong. This isn't just about abuse. It's about inclusion. It's about hospitality. It's about how we navigate in our ministry with each other in meetings in ways that people are included, seen, heard, and that we can continue to grow as the body of Christ. So thanks again, and don't be shy to reach out. If you struggle with technology, what I would recommend is bringing your computer in, or even letting one of the clergy or staff know that you don't have a computer, and we will lend you a laptop. You can come into the church office during office hours, and we will set you up at a desk nearby so that if you get stuck, you can ask the front desk volunteer or one of the staff or clergy, and we'll help get you unstuck, because this is really important and we really want you to be successful in accessing this information.